This is Season 2, Episode 34 of the Out of the Minds podcast. I'm Sean Oakley.
And I'm Sam Cooper, and today we have the old versus the new. The evil AMG versus the glorious XWA.
Yes. This is some last-minute practice for me for the Hemel Hamstead GT. I have no idea when I'll actually upload this episode, so it may go out on the 3rd. I'm driving up Friday with Sam, straight after work, so I might get it done Thursday evening, or if you're listening to this on Sunday evening or Monday, it's post Hemel, but cool. Yeah, so I am, of course, flying old AMG points. But I didn't want to impose that on anyone else who wasn't practicing, because Sam's traitoring and is off to play a completely different game system at Hemel. Which I can't blame you, because I love playing Shatterpoint as well.
And I want my juicy alt arts.
That's fair, and I want the juicy alt arts that you don't use, so...
Yep, fair.
I'm pretty sure there was an Obi, wasn't there?
Yeah, there's like...
Nice.
I think there's like Obi, Anakin...
But, back to X-Wing, because, you know, it is an X-Wing podcast. Regular listeners will remember that I actually won a GT this season at the Welsh Open in July. And I won that with the Republic list, which is obviously the 3 sock arcs matchstick broadside with ion cannons and bombs and... Well, your choice of 2.Z95 with dedicated. I take slider. That list got a nerf on the unexpected AMG points update. It's, let's be honest, a minor nerf. Sock oddball went up to 5 points. Now, I like the standard loadout oddball. The extra shield upgrade and selfless is a very good combination. So when I was coming back to look at a list for the GT, I know I wanted to fly a variation of that if I could, because I've done well with the list. It's a strong list. I know how to fly it, so I don't just need to relearn a list. And my first gut instinct was to keep the 3 arcs, one of the Y-Wings, in this case Matchstick, because I think it's the better Y-Wing. And then basically you lose a point, so you're left with 4 points left over. And I was looking at making broadside and slider into one ship. And I looked at Etta Anakin. I flew the Siege of Coruscant Click a few times. Consider the 2 Z95s. And I did a few practice games and basically came to the conclusion that actually the double ion is pretty critical. The Y-Wings, for all their 1 agility, with the natural crit degeneration, until you actually get one through on their health, they tank more than they should. Kind of like Grievous when he, imperviums one away. Yes, I've got that direct hit, and no, it's gone. It's like, oh, well, that was a crit, but now it's not. And I also found I missed dedicated because I had no defensive mods for blanks, basically. Born for this is great because it's a guaranteed result, but does nothing if you roll a blank. Having the combination is great. So what I've done is basically taken my GT list, but Siege of Coruscant oddball has become standard oddball. So still 4 points and get 7 loadout. So I lose a shield and I lose selfless. I have enough loadout for the R4P Astromech, which I think is critical. I think it's one of the most important things on the arcs, and I certainly notice it when I'm flying Wolf, who doesn't have it. Like, it's been mentioned by other people that this list you basically just 1 forward and focus, or 1 bank and focus. And that is certainly how you fly the list. But I think, certainly to win a tournament with the list, you need to know when to do something. When do you do, pop an R4P and do that white 4 straight, or a blue 3 bank, or the white 3 hard and a barrel roll? Like, the things that are going to catch your opponent off guard. Like, they might be expecting it, but they can't expect it every turn. And knowing when to do that, I think, is what elevates the people who take it to cut and win events. And hence why R4P got slapped straight onto Oddball. And then I had 5 points left. So what I've gone with is Clone Commander Cody as a gunner. And I had 1 point left over, so marksmanship gets slapped on. Should actually note that the other thing you do lose is the lock flexibility. Because custom Oddball has the same trigger off a red action or a red maneuver, but instead of picking a ship at range 1 and a friendly ship at range 3 and they acquire a lock, it's Oddball that always acquires the lock and only things in his bullseye. So, to that extent, like, Oddball's effectively just become an I5 arc that is going to roll around, focus most of the time, and lob some dice. Which is still great for 4 points.
Yeah,
do not get me wrong. It still triggers Jag and all that tricks. But with Cody, for anyone who doesn't know Cody's ability, it's basically when a enemy ship defends, if no damage was dealt, and at least one hit or crit was rolled, so basically they evade whatever you roll, if you deal no damage, they gain a strain. So I kind of think, on those times you have a bum roll and you roll 1 hit and 2 blanks and they dodge it, or they get great greens, or they have the tokens. It then means that the follow-up from the other arcs or the ions are going to punch harder because you're shooting through 1 less green. So it's like, either you're going to plink a damage or you're going to take a green away, and that's kind of a win-win.
Yeah, absolutely. Because it's one of those things where, like, you always used to see it on like things like the Lart, and I think it works less good there because the Lart is usually shooting last. Let's be realistic. Like,
yeah.
Whereas with Oddball, you're shooting first, so either you do damage, great, or you put a strain, so the next guy will do damage, great.
Yeah, and like also for those times where you only have a tail shot, and let's be honest, I considered Vet Tail Gunner. But I find Oddball quite often wants to be near the back. Doesn't find it as easy to get into the middle as the other arcs. And even on the other arcs, the Vet Tail is kind of just like, if you trigger it, great. But I'm never really looking for it unless my opponent puts their ships in such an obvious place that I'm like, cool. Turn into the primary target and someone's going to be at the back, but that's just a nice bonus.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that's pretty much my list. Still 6 ships, 3 of them are medium base. There's lots of ways of acquiring attack mods, so they want to focus a lot, but they're still free to pick up like scenario actions, so scrambling or picking up crates, particularly Matchstick, because he just gets rerolls on his attacks for the red tokens, so doesn't need the focus. Obviously Slider, because he's there for defensive purposes with dedicated. If you want to waste a shot on my 2-point ship, fine. And to a certain extent Wolf, because he's got that forward mod and can use Jag's target lock if he needs to. And actually, to be honest, also to a certain extent Oddball, because as I say, if he just lobs that 3 dice with no mods, odds are on 3 dice you get 1 hit at least.
Yeah, so you're either doing like 1 damage or a strain, which is functionally like 1 more damage.
Yeah.
That you generally wouldn't have done.
Yeah. So over to you, Sam.
So, I'm flying XWA points, and I'm flying Separatists, and I'm not flying a Droid Swarm, because I was basically at the point where I was like, I want to just put a bunch of different ships on, see how a sort of Separatist salad can work out. So I have a pile of 4-point ships. I've got General Grievous with Impervium Plating and Soulless One. Cad Bane with Marksmanship, Proton Cannons, Contraband Cybernetics, Engine Upgrade, and the Title. Siege of Coruscant Dis T81 for all those glorious rerolls. Dirge with synced laser cannons, and Chertek with ensnare and gravitic deflection. And my thought here was basically, if I make everyone I4, with the exception of Dirge, because eventually you run out of 4-pointers, like moving should be pretty easy, and I4 is a decent like benchmark to be at for initiatives. Like sure, the 5s and 6s will outdo you, but they were going to do that anyway. If you were bringing multiple ships as separatists, that's just sort of how it is. And you'll also jump up over like the big swarms.
Yeah.
And there's just shenanigans. Like I've got proton cannons, I've got tractor shenanigans, I've got an outmaneuver tri-fighter. Grievous is annoying. Dirge is annoying. Like I've got a mix of annoying shenanigans.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. So we are playing Scramble. And we opt basically for the standard Scramble.
Yeah, basically we fling our objectives as far out as they can and as far up as they can.
I mean, I can't. Your lists can quite happily have something stay back turn 2, pick up one. So there's no point me leaving it deep in your edge.
And basically the same for yours. Although, interestingly, maybe I should have done, because I feel like my list is more likely to have a ship that can just scoot to the back.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. Like once I've kind of gone past.
Like once you've passed it, like sure you can come back. Like that's always possible, but it'll take a little bit. It'll be a little bit more awkward for you.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because I can't afford one ship. Maybe with the exception of Slider to disappear off it.
That's what I was thinking. Like Slider could do it, but
Slider also isn't that fast.
Yeah.
Like, I think the fastest he can do is a 3 straight boost.
But interesting. My thoughts were literally like, I want to spread it out because I want to have like a flank that I can send a guy off, and maybe it's like if you contest a flank with like one dude, I'm reasonably happy that I can put someone to 1v1 that. Like, Grievous is quite happy to like fight a flank.
Yeah, I can't afford to 1v1 with any, even with the arcs, because 1 green dice will wilter. Again, most of your ships have a reasonable punch. Certainly you're not going to one-tap anything, but I also can't one-on-one with anything. So now, if ironically I'd had Sock Jag, I would have considered a one-on-one, because even the proton cannon isn't going to crit me.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not how my list functions. So, and rocks are bad for me.
Yeah, so you basically start putting them in the corners, and I start trying to make channels for a proton cannon. Essentially, is what happens.
So yeah, I mean, I take one of your big-ish rocks, and put it 2 and 2 in my corner, hoping to jet past it. And what I should have done was just stuck it up in your corner.
Yeah.
And it's basically all downhill from there. I'm trying to spread them out a little bit. I think I end up 2 and 2ing it in my other corner. And yeah, you get some nice sort of... Basically, one of the rocks is 2 and 2 in your corner. The 2 small rocks are basically about range 1, maybe range 1.5, either side of the centre.
Yeah.
And then the 3 Pride of Mandalores are all tucked in between a 2 and 2 in my bottom right, directly below, as I'm looking at it, the left obstacle left of the centre, and tucked in just below the centre.
Yeah, so functionally what I was aiming for was to get to the centre from your side, you have to go in between a pair of rocks on both sides. And I've got a bullseye cannon on Chertek and a proton cannon that are quite happy to capitalise on medium-based ships doing exactly that.
Yeah. What I should have done was what my list wants to do on Scramble, when it's set up like this, is go down one board edge and turn into the middle.
Yeah.
And what I should have done was, put as many rocks as I could on your side. Yes, you can still create channels, but if you're only doing it with 3... Like, if I'd lined up 3 rocks along your board edge, there's only so much you can do.
Yeah, exactly. Especially because you were first player, you would get to put 2 of my rocks down, and they're the biggest ones.
Yeah. But we live and learn.
But then speaking of your first player, so you set up most of your list
Yes.
before mine goes down.
Because we overlap on the 4s and 5s, but when I'm first player, basically everything except oddball goes down. So I know I'm going to have to sort of kind of fight this on two fronts, but my plan or my hope is set up in a way that if you set up to joust me, I can kind of condense on that. If you don't, and I didn't think you'd joust me, because I don't think you win that joust.
No, I don't.
So I kind of set
I have the damage output, but I don't have the health.
I kind of set it up to do the go down one board edge and swing in, but kind of in 2 blocks. So what I've done is I've set up Jag just to the left of the leftmost rock near me. I won't do this in initiative order. I'll do it in setup order because it's easier to explain. Just to the left of Jag is Wolf, and just to the left of Wolf is Matchstick. And the idea being those 3 are going to jet down towards the left-hand objective. The arcs are going to turn in and bank towards the centre through the nice gap that's there. And Matchstick will basically tag it. And if you've sent something down there, fine, because Matchstick will have a million locks and a million rerolls, so he's free to tag. Yeah. And then just the other side of the rocks, I've got Oddball literally below the rock because he's just going to bank and then straight past it, and there's a gap into the centre. Slider is to the right of him, and he'll basically do some shenanigan side slips to get behind. I just need him behind the ships with them in the side arc for dedicated. And Broadside is basically a little further to the right, basically where he can go between one of the gaps straight up towards the centre. But he can go slow, let Oddball catch up, and if they go slow enough, hopefully the arcs could have swung round and be coming in at the same time. Yes, there's a chance you can just dive in and grab that centre objective, but my thoughts were once we get into the scrum, I'd probably have more actions to then be able to reclaim it.
Yeah. So on my side, I've seen where everyone other than Oddball has gone. And I have an idea of where Oddball's going to go. I figure he's either going to go. I thought he was going to either go next to Broadside on the right hand side of your formation, or the far side of Matchstick, and you were just going to go commit to the full sweep essentially. So I started to deploy my 4s, and I put Dis in my bottom left hand corner, right in the corner, and right back. Because the idea is 5 straight, boost to the right. He's facing down where Broadside is. And I just need to start putting the damage in. I put Cad slightly to Dis's right-hand side, again, with the idea that I can 5 straight, boost to the right, and try and line it up so I'm aiming that proton cannon down the center of the board diagonally, trying to catch some of those medium bases. And then Grievous and Chertek, again, slightly to the right of Cad, but still on my left-hand side of the board. They're facing about 22 and a bit degrees to my left at a slight angle, and right at the back. Because the idea is, I'm like, okay, I want to make it look like they're just going to swoop in behind Cad and Dis, but I have the option just hard turning and aiming for the center. And then Dirge, I set up on the far right because I'm trying to play that silly game of, hey, look, it's Dirge. He's quite hard to kill. Na, waste your time over here. And my intention was always he's going to go and claim the middle objective.
Funnily, I was looking at Dirge going, got to play this right so I don't get splattered with the proton cannon into our arc. And then I took a look again and went, oh no, he's got sync lasers. All right, let's not worry about that then. Let's just carry on and ignore Dirge.
Yeah. Which, with this build, is kind of what I want, because Dirge is my action monkey this game.
Yeah.
Which is weird, for considering Dirge is my highest initiative ship and should be the 8. He's my action monkey. And the reason he's my action monkey is because he's probably going late, which means he can go and pick it up after stuff has already gone. This only really works on Scramble. Obviously, This because that's the one where going late benefits for actions. But with Dirge, I don't mind because if you shoot at him, he's probably coming back, and then you'll have to shoot at him again. And I have other ships that can do stuff.
Yeah. Right.
And he's an annoying action monkey because he still has a sync laser cannon. He still has a 3-dice gun.
Yeah.
He
Right.
still has dead to rights. It's one of those little things where like he's annoying, but it's not like he's Sabine annoying, where Sabine's not really going to do much except actions, and she's not worth shooting. Dirge is sort of not worth shooting, and he can do actions and do the shooting.
Yeah. Right, let's get into it then.
Yeah, and so for the rest of the game, I'm basically first player, which has massive consequences for this game.
Yes. So Broadside just does a 1 straight and takes a focus, and Jag does a 3 straight and locks matchstick.
So Dis does a 5 straight and boosts to the right. Cad does a 5 straight and boosts to the right. Chertek and Grievous both do 1 hard to the right and focus. Because I'm lining, because now that I know that Oddball's gone center, I'm like, okay, well, there's no way Oddball's going like hard turning to the left, coming behind the arcs. Oddball's turning to the right, and you're going to be going with Slider and Broadside. And I was like, okay, he's splitting up the arcs. I'm going to see if I can like capitalize on that. And my thoughts are already wrong because in my head I'm like, okay, Grievous is going to come near the middle, and then Chertek is going to beeline for that far right objective. And I'm already mistaken because if you've split up your arcs, I need to jump on half your list as quick as I can.
Yeah.
Because whilst I have damage output, it's janky damage. Like Dis and Grievous are 3-dice guns with situational mods. Like the proton cannon is great, and like I said, Dirge just has a sync laser cannon, so he's fine. But I need it to actually kill your arcs and Y-wings. I do need to focus fire and line it all up properly. But what I'm doing is not. I'm basically splitting up to being like, Cad and Dis versus Broadside, Slider, and Oddball, and Grievous and Chertek versus Jag, Matchstick, and Wolf. That's like I'm taking 2 bad engages.
Yeah, because I'm like kind of okay with that. It's almost like we're jousting just in 2 blocks.
Weirdly,
yeah. So Matchstick just moves up and takes a focus, and then rotates because I realised I'd set up wrong. Then Wolf moves up and locks, and Slider side slips and locks.
Yeah,
just together.
Dirge has a 3 bank to the left and focuses because, like I said, he was always going for the center. I just wanted to see if I could get you to, like, maybe think I wasn't. Basically, just like, look, it's Dirge. Be careful of that right objective. He might come and take it. No, not a chance. He was never going to do it.
Yeah, and then Oddball just 1 banks, and I opt to barrel roll to the right because basically I want to be out of Cad's bullseye, and
yes.
I at least want to make you have to boost or barrel roll to line it up because then you'll be stressed. Yes, I know he can do actions, but he can't turn around, and I've got thermal bombs on Broadside.
Yes. And also, interestingly, is because Oddball goes after Cad every single time, you also have the final choice on whether you're in the bullseye or not.
Yes.
No matter what I've done.
Yeah. But we have no shooting this round.
Yeah. So I now have a lot of choices to do because Cad is, ironically, I think, lined up exactly so that the mustache rock will get clipped, but if I move.
Funnily, I did wonder if it would... I thought if you went fast enough straight...
if I went fast enough, I think I'd clear it.
Yeah.
But this is one of the things I just couldn't risk you doing a fast move with Broadside and blocking that.
That's fair.
Like, even if I didn't think you would, because that would be kind of insane. Because then you'd basically be giving the outflank to Dis, and Grievous and Chertek are right there. But if you did, if you did, and I didn't think you were going to do it, and I'd done moves that weren't capitalize on it, Cad is on a rock, and I'm screwed.
I mean, to be fair, the outmaneuver flank is easy to fix. I just rotate my turret.
Yeah, I know, but like it was. I was just thinking like it'd be kind of insane for you to throw Broadside 4 straight, literally into my entire list.
The problem with that is the 4 straight is red.
Yeah, well, exactly. That's what I mean. Like, that's why I'm like, you'd be giving the outflank.
If
you block Cad.
Yeah.
But...
If I was trying to go for the flank, for the block, I think a 3 bank is where I'd go. But yeah, you're right. It's not. So we go into it, and Sam's first player again. Pretty sure you are right up until
I'm
like the
first player
second.
right up until like the second to last turn when it stopped mattering.
And Broadside just does a 1 bank and takes a focus. Jag does a 2 bank and somehow lands his corner of his base inside the small knobbly rock.
If I had placed that rock slightly twisted,
oh,
this is a different
man.
game.
Yeah, like I never in a million years thought it was that close. But you know what they say, medium base always fits. So
yeah.
Well, hey. And he claims the center objective because he's probably going to acquire a lot from someone shooting someone.
Yep. So CAD does a 1 bank to the left, and then I focus boost to the right, trying to line up my bullseye onto, because I figured Oddball's probably going straight, and if Oddball wanted to barrel roll, that's fine. Like in the game of damage trading, I'd rather you didn't have mods.
Yeah, fair.
Like you can dodge the proton cannon all you like. I still have a range 1-shot into broadside if I want it.
Yeah.
So that I'll take it. Dis does a 2 straight and claims the far left objective because if you shoot at him, I got rerolls. That should be fine. Grievous does a 3 bank to the left and focuses. Chertek does a 3 straight, I believe. I take a tractor, rotate my turret to the left, barrel roll to the right, and focus because I've already, like, in my head, committed that Chertek is going far right, and this is stupid. And the reason this is stupid is because, sure, I can claim it all I like, but I've already said, like, I haven't realized it at the minute, but I need all my guns to be shooting at you effectively to win this game, because we already know that your list will trade efficiently.
Yeah.
So I need to coordinate my efforts to trade efficiently, because Dirge isn't going to trade efficiently because he's my action monkey. He's just going to fire and hope. So I need Grievous, Dis, Cat, and Chertek all to be hitting as hard as they can. And sending out one of my hammers to go claim an objective fighting against Matchstick is, in theory, it's fine. It's fine as long as I actually keep winning that objective.
Yeah.
Which is a 50-50 because if you go after me, you can just claim it after me.
So we go to my falls. And Matchstick just does a 3 bank round and claims the left-hand objective. Wolf does a 2 hard, which literally goes between the nubs of Jag. So, yeah, medium base always fits. And he takes a focus. Slider does, I believe, a 3 straight and takes a focus.
Dirge does a 5 straight and claims the center.
So I'm pretty sure every time I claim the center, Dirge just swings in and claims that 1 back. So
yeah, Dirge or Grievous, I think, actually.
Yeah, he does this job. Oddball does a 1 straight, and I ummed and ahed about the barrel roll here, but I wasn't. Ironically, looking from the other side, I wasn't sure it would be worth it, but this side it clearly clears the bullseye.
Yeah, definitely clears the bullseye.
But I wasn't
wondering, like, does it fit?
Yeah. Oh no, hang on. It does because I do go for it, don't I?
Yeah, we know it fits. I was just like looking at it from this angle. My question would be like, "Ooh, does that actually fit?"
Yeah, I do opt to. For some reason, I had it in my head that I'd focused. So, man, you'd think we played this game like a week ago, not last night. Yeah, I opt to barrel roll back out of the bullseye because I don't want to take that proton cannon. It's not worth it.
Makes sense. So Chertek passes a tractor to Grievous, and I barrel roll him to the right. Basically, I was and forwards because I was trying to be like, you know what? Let's line up the sneaky out of arc shot into Wolf if we can, and start getting the mods. Like you'll have extra dice over Jag. Actually, you might not because Jag's hilariously going to be obstructed because of the cornering of that.
Yeah,
rock.
probably.
But if I can get mods, I'd take mods, and I'm okay with being 1 defense dice down because I've still got focus, and it's still range 3.
And the fact that you probably get the obstructed back, so
yes. So Dirge shoots first, and I think I shoot at broadside,
and do nothing.
Yeah, that's a common theme for a lot of the shooting this game. Actually, this was a pillow fight at best.
I mean, certainly the first rounds were, yeah. Oddball has a range. I think I do the range 2 into
CAD.
CAD. I roll 3 blanks.
Yep.
Go, Cody.
So Grievous has range 3 obstructed into Wolf, and so all that work to get double mods, and I roll hit crit out of hand.
I roll trail mix, so I spend my focus and take a shield.
Cad's cheat takes the range 1 shot into broadside, and I roll hit, focus, hit, and I think do I spend a focus or do I not?
You rolled a crit, which got turned downward plated hull.
Oh right.
And you don't spend the focus because I'm assuming you want it for defense.
Yeah, because I'm like, I've got some more shots coming in.
I roll.
I need to live.
Yeah, I roll an evade, so I plink a shield there.
Dis has a range 3 shot into broadside, so I roll hit, focus, re-roll the focus into a focus.
I roll 1 evade, so I take another shield. Then we go to my 4s. And Wolf has, I think, a range 3 shot into Dirge. I roll trail mix. I don't spend his charge because there's no point on two dice.
I roll focus, blank, so Dirge takes a damage.
Matchstick does a range 3 primary, I think, into Grievous. And I end up with 2 hits.
I roll evade focus and spend the focus for 2 evades.
Slider does I'm guessing, range 3 into Cads. And rolls 1 hit.
I roll evade and 2 focuses. And then
Jag picks up a lock from that, though. And then shoots Dirge, because it's the only shot, and ends up with 1 hit.
I roll 1 evade. And you spend the focus.
And then I spend the focus. No, hang on, I didn't have a focus. No, is this?
Oh, this is broadside. This is broadside into Cad. This is broadside into Cad.
Jag did nothing. Broadside has a range 1 shot out the front, and rolls hit, focus, spends his focus for 3 hits.
I roll evade blank, and so I lose my shields on Cad.
So we've shot into each other with every ship and done a combined 5 shields.
Yeah, I took 2 off broadside, 1 off Wolf,
and 2 off.
And then I lost
2 off Cad.
And I lost 3. 2 off Cad and 1 off Dirge. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
All right. Fine.
And then I scored 2-1 on objectives. And this, interestingly, this 2-1 objectives is a theme because I worked very hard to keep that 2-1 on objectives up for a lot. And I don't actually think it paid off. I think I needed to focus more on just picking up your ships.
Yeah, it was interesting because I claim a few times, particularly the centre one, and every single time you claim it back. But then quite often the shots don't do enough.
Basically, I was just slowly losing the damage race. And because I wasn't because my damage, we'll get to it later, but my damage gets spread out a lot over the arcs because that's how the arcs sort of work. And so, at the end, I start losing a couple of ships, and you've got ships that are running out of health, but all of a sudden that 2-1 advantage I was getting was meaningless because then I was 2 ships down, and I can no longer reclaim and get good actions.
Yeah.
But that was just the first turn shooting. The next turn is the most interesting, and is when I actually thought, I might actually have this before it slips away quite dramatically.
Yeah. So I make a mistake here. System phase, I drop both thermals with
matchstick.
Broadside, because I wasn't expecting you to do what you did with Cad. And it scuppers me quite badly. But hey ho. And then I do a 3 straight over, and I take a focus. I 2 bank into the center with Jag, and I claim the center objective.
And then Cad does a 1 bank to the right, clears the stress, and I focus barrel roll to the right. And this is a mistake of epic proportions, and I'll explain why. It's because I know what Dis is about to do. Dis is about to do a 2 straight and land directly in broadside. And so I thought, okay, I'll get the double whammy with Cad. I'll barrel roll into broadside's turret arc. I'm directly facing a rock. He'll be so tempted to shoot that he won't ion Dis. And this is stupid because I'm committing. Either because if you Ion Dis, honestly, not the end of the world. It's Dis. I reroll everything, and you cap out at 1 damage. If you Ion Cad, I go over a rock. That's probably 3 damage, and then I'm not shooting.
Yeah.
And so my thought process was, oh, I need to prevent Dis from getting Ion because he's my playmaker. When actually, and also, I think I barreled out of a bomb slightly. And so what I've done is I basically said, quick, shoot Cad, you'll get so much value that you'll forget that Dis was even a target in the first place.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I might have bumped Oddball anyway as well.
I don't know. That's
'Cause that is the other thing that makes this kind of worth it.
Yeah.
But it's still stupid to do because the reason I did it wasn't to bump Oddball. Like I thought I would end up bumping Oddball because I was like, well, if you're dropping thermals, Oddball's going fast.
Yeah.
I assumed like 3 bank or 4 straight. No, it must be the 3 bank because 4 straight just puts you on the mustache. I thought.
Yeah.
But either way, I've focused barreled Cad. I'm aiming the bullseye into Narnia at the minute, and the only reason I've done this is to semi-dodge a thermal and make it so that broadside hopefully doesn't choose to just shoot at Dis.
Yeah.
So Dis does a 2 straight and calculates. He's sat in broadsides, broadside. Unfortunately, because of where Cad is, I can't calculate boost and try and get a better angle. I'm just stuck calculating. It's a bit of a shame. Grievous does a 2 bank to the left, and I claim the center with him. Chertek does a 3 bank to the left. I take a tractor token, rotate my arc to the front, and boost. And I think this is just a little bit silly. Because I'm semi hoping that basically that matchstick is going straight, and you do, but then I completely ignore the fact that the Y-wing has a barrel roll on it, and had I gone to the right, I think he might have been in both arcs either way.
Yeah. So I don't go to the right. I don't go straight, which we'll get to in a second.
Yeah. Oh, you bank, don't you? Yes.
So Wolf does a 1 bank and focuses. And my kind of game plan has now effectively worked in the sense that all the arcs and the Y-wings are jumbling into the middle. And I do a 3 bank with matchstick.
That's what it is. This is why I was like, I should have gone right, because if you've gone straight, you're in a bullseye. Fine. If you go the only other way you can go, you can't get out of my turret arc. You can get out of range 1, but I'll still get a shot.
Yes. But interestingly, so I barrel roll to the left because I don't want to take that tractor.
Yeah.
But interestingly, what that does is kind of scuppers me for the next 3 turns, I think. In the sense,
yeah, because I guess your blues are awkward for you at this point.
1 straight, 2 straight. That's all they've got. So effectively, spoilers. I spend, I think, the next 2 turns at least doing 2 hards just to try and keep the turret arc pointing in a direction. Yes, he gets mods from the stress. What I think I should have done there was just focused. Because
accepted that you're taking the shot and hit harder.
Because, yes, okay, you're going to tractor me. If you move me, you're not shooting me. And I'd always have the option to rotate, get a stress.
Yeah.
Yes, okay, that's a stressed red token, but I wouldn't then be facing
away. Yeah.
And if I'd ioned Chertek there, you wouldn't be able to go and claim the objective the next turn.
Yeah, which is what I aim to do.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think I should have just focused. It's a small mistake, but I should have just accepted it, I suppose. Slider attempts to jump over Wolf, but doesn't.
Fails.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what I did. I've got sneaking. No, it is a self bump, whatever it was that I tried to jump, and takes a damage.
I think it was like a bank or something.
Yeah, that was it. I was trying to 1 bank into the gap. That was it, and then barrel roll behind where Wolf was.
So Dirge 1 bank to the right. It actually does land perfectly in front of Jag, making Grievous's claim a little bit sad because I wasn't sure Dirge was going to fit. So I thought, well, I've definitely got to at least claim. So Grievous will do that. So Dirge just takes a focus.
And then Wolf attempts. I can't remember what it was, but I bump into. I'm guessing probably a 2 straight. I bump into Dirge. Cad, sorry. I take the red focus. I trigger his ability to acquire a lock on him because I figured I might as well just put it out there for later. And then the bombs go off, and they get both Oddball and Slider. So I roll for Oddball first, who takes a strain. And then you remind me that I should probably do Slider one at a time because he has got only 1 shield left, so a crit might matter if it's in that order. But I roll a blank followed by a blank, so I kind of get away with bombing myself.
Yeah.
I take a strain on Oddball, but all right, fine.
Yeah, put it this way. With those proton bombs, you'd be very sad.
Yes, yes.
So Dirge just takes the range 1 shot into Oddball. I roll Trail Mix. I spend my focus for 2 hits and just plink off 2 shields.
Yep. Oddball, what do? I go, I think, range 0 into Cad, because I was just trying to see if I could get rid of the focus.
You get 1 hit, and I get 1 evade.
So I Cody a strain. So
yep.
At least there's
that. So Chertek shoots at Wolf. I believe I get hit crit.
Yeah.
And blink off a shield.
Yeah, I get an evade, so 1 more shield.
Grievous goes range 1 into Wolf, and I roll hit, focus, focus, blank.
And I get an evade.
Dis rolls range 3 obstructed into Wolf. Because the way I see it, I'm trying to focus fire. It's 3 on 3. I've got rerolls. And if I can take off that shield, or then the proton cannon that is coming is just that much more likely to put some crits onto the hull. So I get 2 hits after rerolls.
I get blank focus.
I think spending here is correct, but you...
I don't. I do.
Don't?
I didn't take any... I must have, and hang on. Are you...
Did I shoot? Who
no.
Did I shoot then?
Did you shoot...
Did I shoot Slider?
Yeah, to try and kill Slider.
Yes.
Yeah, you shot Slider.
I was trying to blink off Slider. I should have gone for...
Slider's down to 1 health.
Yeah, I should have gone for a Wolf.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Cad ends up with crit into Wolf.
I roll... It's obstructed, so I evade focus.
You roll evade focus.
You spend
the focus before I remind you that you can't.
That I can't. So it's shield crit. That crit is a loose stabilizer.
Not the end of the world, but hey, I'll take it.
Not the end of the world. Then we go to my 4s. And I have to work out who I want to shoot with first. I shoot with Slider, I think, into...
It looks like Dis if I pulled out 4 dice.
Yeah, Dis or Dirge. I do nothing. Wolf goes range 1, I think, into Grievous. I roll blank, focus crit. I spend a charge to reroll a blank into a focus to end up with hit, crit.
I roll 2 evades, so Grievous loses a shield.
Then we go to Matchstick, who fires the ion cannon into Chertek. After rerolls, I end up with hit, crit.
I roll evade focus. Gravitic deflection reroll gives me another focus, so I take a single damage.
Then that's it for the 4s, I think.
Yeah, so over to Broadside and Jag.
So I do...
range 1 into Cad.
Yeah, I think this is Broadside, but let me... hang on. Yeah, this is Broadside. I roll... hit blank focus, change 1 blank to a focus with Broadside's ability, and spend the focus for 3 results. Yeah, because you're strained, that's why.
Yeah. I roll a focus, so I take a damage and several ions.
And then Jag goes range 1 into you. I roll hit focus blank, spend his lock on the blank into a blank. And both of them because I thought I had a focus.
Yeah.
So I end up with 2 hits.
Now I roll a single evade, so another health on Cad.
And then I vet tail out
tail gunner
into Chertek. I get hit crit.
I roll focus blank, reroll the blank into a focus, and take. Oh no, this is Dis. You shot Dis.
No, I didn't. I put them on the. Remember, I put them on the wrong ones.
Oh,
Yeah.
so yeah, Chertek's down to 1 with a wounded pilot.
Yeah, ignore the overlay. We do catch that in a minute. Then it's 2-1 on objectives again.
Yeah, so
and this is where I forget to put one on the on the table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's currently 4-2, but the problem is I'm taking more damage than I'm dealing, and that means I'm going to lose. And my sick play with Cad Bane has meant that he's just in serious trouble. I have only one option, and it's not really an option, it's just vain hope that I one bank to the left, and it just doesn't clear oddball, and so I sort of awkwardly bump into him.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure a one bank to the right still ends up on the rock, bumping into Jag.
I thought it would.
Ends up.
I thought it would, which is very specifically why I do what I do with Jag.
Yeah. In hindsight, maybe I do wonder what it would have looked like. Like, would the bump have still would I have bumped Jag and then weirdly not been on the rocks?
Been in that gap, it's possible.
Yeah. Either way, I didn't think it was possible, so we didn't try.
Okay, and into the next turn we go. And I drop an ion bomb with Matchstick because I'm just like, hey, if Chertek's coming down that way to claim it, then he's going to have to take an ion.
Yep, makes sense.
And then Broadside does a 2 hard, swings round and claims the right-hand objective. Jag 1 straights, bumps into Dirge and takes a red focus.
Chertek does a 3 bank to the right, claims the far right objective. I really wanted to track to myself, but I had a wounded pilot, so I couldn't risk it.
Yeah.
I do roll for the wounded pilot, and I don't get a stress, so ultimate sadness. But I did get the objective. I know I'm getting Ion next turn, but that's fine. Like, that means Chertek is relatively safe-ish, and you're not really able to get this objective back for a couple of turns.
Yeah. Cad ends up on the rock.
1 banks to the left and does roll onto the rock. I take 2 damage and go down to 1. And actually, looking where I've ended up, I think going right might have actually paid off for me, especially now that Jack has shunted forward slightly, and so his corner will catch me just that much sooner.
Yeah, possibly.
Well, that's hindsight. Grievous does a 2 bank to the left because I didn't really have that many options, and hey, maybe Jag wouldn't be there. And I take a red focus. Dis does a 4 straight, clearing the stress, and I think try to barrel roll to the. No, I just calculate.
You just calculate.
Next turn is the one where I do the. I'm thinking of
So Wolf does a 3 bank over everyone, takes the damage from the loose stabilizer and repairs it, and then claims the center objective.
Yep.
Because I'm like, hey, I've spent my charge to re-roll. I can get it back for an extra dice out the back. Broadside does a 2 hard and remembers that he should have had a stress from his barrel roll. And we can get it there. I side slip with Slider, which puts me to the corner and in front of Dis, so I opt to barrel roll out of arc for a stress.
Makes sense. Dirge has a 1 hard to the left, and he claims the center objective.
And then Oddball does, I believe that was a 2 bank to clear his stress, and I believe I just take a focus. And then the bomb goes off and catches Chertek.
Yep, take a bunch of ions, not the end of the world. So Dirge shoots first, I shoot into Oddball, I get 1 hit.
I take that hit. I then take the range 2 out the back into Cad, I believe.
Yep.
And I get 2 hits.
I roll 2 blanks. Cad is dead.
Then we go to your 4s.
So Grievous, I believe this is
Oddball.
Just range. This is range 2 into Oddball.
Yeah.
I get a crit, and you spend your focus for an evade.
Yeah. So we go to my 4s. I take the range 1 from Slider into Dis.
And I evade it.
And then here is where I make another mistake. I won't say it's critical. I've got Matchstick has got 2 shots. He's got Grievous and he's got Chertek, and I opt to go into Grievous to try and ionize him.
I was very surprised that you weren't going for the Plink on Chertek.
Because I just almost got blinkered that it was like, he's ioned, I don't need to worry about him. I should have just killed him. I've got... Alright, a single modded 3-dice gun. It's 3 on 3, but I've got mods and you haven't.
Yeah.
I should sneak 1 through, and that's all I need to do.
Yeah, whereas 3 on 2, but I have double mods and you have single mods. Like, yeah, you'll get 1 through, but Grievous doesn't really care about 1 getting through.
Like,
whereas Chertek really cares about 1 getting through.
And ironically, I think in hindsight, you dodge anyway.
But yes, but only with a token.
Yeah, and I think that probably was part of my consideration, was try and strip the token before Wolf shoots. But I still think I should have just shot Chertek there.
Yeah, I think it's just, I think stripping the token before Wolf shoots probably just isn't worth it.
Yeah.
I would argue, like, if you have a chance to remove a ship, and you've already picked off Cad Bane, so if you can pick off Chertek this turn, the game is over. Like, I have 3 versus 6. The game is just over. Like,
I could almost ignore that back objective and let you take up the point at that point and bring Matchstick in.
Yeah, because at that point, yes, I would be ticking up each one, but it would take me 8 turns to equal what I'd just lost to you.
Yeah.
Well, I do not have 8 turns.
And then Wolf goes range 1 into the back of Grievous. I get my charge back for the extra dice, and I end up with hit, crit.
I roll evade blank. I re-roll the blank into a focus, so I take hit crit. I believe it's a direct hit, and I am pervium plating it.
Yes, so just the shield gone. Jag acquires a lock on you, though, because Wolf's in his side arc. And then we go to the 3s. I lob a range 1 obstructed ion cannon from broadside into Dirge. I end up with 1 crit.
I dodge it with 2 evades.
And then I do the range 1 out the front from Jag into Dirge for hit, crit.
And I roll blank focus, so ouch. I believe it's direct hit and weapons failure I take on the hull, so I've got 2 health left.
And then I vet tail out the back into, I believe, Chertek. Like, yeah, it's 2 on a million dice, but again, just trying to plink that 1 through. But I double blank, so there. And then it is 2-1 on objectives again.
Yeah. So the game is like, it's staying close, but I'm very conscious of the fact that Dirge is on 2, Chertek's on 1, Dis is still fine, and Dis is Dis. But realistically, Grievous and Dis aren't going to be able to 2v6. Yeah. So I need to pick up any of your ships.
Yeah, Grievous is... Alright, it's got 5 left, but you've burnt an Impervium, and enough shots will just get past that. So.
Yeah.
And also, he's nicely coming up to where Broadside's going to be with his ion cannon.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Now it's just a case of me of... Now I've taken a ship off the board, and like I think you have to be a bit more careful with your ships. Can I start getting 1 or 2 of the objectives back without you being able to reclaim them?
And the answer this turn is hell no, because Dirge has 1 job and 1 job only, baby.
Yeah. Jag does a 1 straight, which bumps into Dirge. I knew it would, but honestly, I think it was the best thing to do, so that's fine. He takes a red focus. Broadside does a 3-bank round and claims the center.
Grievous does a 1 hard to the right, because I was just like, I want to just not bump into Jag, and I want to turn around to where Broadside's coming, and I do fit into this weird gap in between your 2 arcs and Broadside. Like, I bump into Broadside, but I expected that, and so okay. If Wolf has done something weird, I've got him. If not, I've still got Broadside. And at this point, shooting is shooting, and I think I've dodged Jag's arc.
Yeah.
Chertek does a 1 bank to the left and focuses. Doesn't take a stress for the wounded pilot, thank you. And Dis does a 3k and Afterburners a boost back in, because he needs to start killing ships.
Yeah.
And he can. If there's one thing Dis Tier 1 can do, it's kill ships. I just need to give him the time.
Yeah. I am too hard with Matchstick and stay stressed. I 4k with Wolf. And I do a 2-bank with slider because I need to ditch the stress. And then I opt to barrel roll in towards this because, quite frankly, I need to try and get the corner of my arc on him to stop the outmaneuver.
It doesn't quite work, though.
Doesn't quite work.
Dirge does a 3-bank to the left through the Mustache Rock, only takes 1 damage and claims the far left objective.
And then
so I'm on 1 health.
And then Wolf banks round behind him and reclaims it back.
Curse road.
Yeah. And is nicely just back far enough to get a range 1 shot into you. So I shoot that range 1 shot. I end up with 2 hits.
I roll a single evade. I take exactly 1 damage, which kills me. I trigger my charge, and I only get 1 back, unfortunately. So I'm on 1 health, but still around. Grievous shoots range 0 into...
No,
is this range
this must be range 3
Wolf?
into Wolf. Because I wouldn't be rolling
I get 2 hits and a focus, and you get 2 evades.
Yep.
Dis rolls range 1 into Slider. I blindly re-roll the miss into a hit to get another deplete. But I needn't have done that because Slider's already dead.
Yeah. The crits were irrelevant for his attack. He shoots into Grievous and gets nothing. Matchstick has a range 3 primary into Chertek. I end up with 1 hit.
I roll 1 evade. Oof.
Literally 1 evade.
Literally 1 evade.
And then Wolf goes into Wolf goes into Grievous. And I end up with 1 crit after spending Jag's lock.
I get 2 focuses and a blank. So crit onto Grievous, which is a stunned pilot.
Broadside goes range 0 into Grievous for 1 hit.
And I take that because of blank focus.
And then Jag reacquires his lock. And then Jag goes range 2 into Dirge and gets 3 hits.
I get 2 blanks. Dirge is dead. So functionally, this game is over.
Yeah.
Like, I straight up... okay, if I was playing 3 I5s... maybe. Like, I could initiate... Like, Wolf is initiative killable. Like, with a bit of focus fire, I could take down Oddball, depending on who it is. But the problem is no matter what I do, you'll get to shoot back.
Yeah.
But the next turn is interesting because I finally actually just straight up call what one of your ships is going to do. Because what I want to do with this is 3 straight so I can utilize afterburners and get after Oddball, who's, lower, basically.
Yeah.
Because, yes, you've got 6 health, but if, Dis can pump in the damage. So if I can get up close, get out maneuver, here we go. But I just knew that Jag was going to too hard over that Mustache Rock to get in the way.
Yeah. So funny enough,
and you did.
Jag R4Ps for blue too hard over the Mustache Rock. I take 1 damage. And I consider barrel rolling here to the right to stop you just coming in and getting out of arc. But actually, at that point, I was like, I've taken 1 shield. I don't care if I roll a no defense against one of your shots. I'd rather you were shooting Jag at this point than Oddball.
Yeah.
So I focus to stay where I am so that you can't get past him, basically, towards Oddball. Broadside does the 3-bank and takes a focus. Because I figured if you do barrel roll out of his arc, you're coming in towards Broadside's turret arc. Matchstick does a 1 straight just in front of the rock there, and takes, I believe, I rotate my turret arc because I wasn't sure where Grievous was going to go.
Yeah, this is the one turn of the game where I am not first player.
Yes. Wolf does a 1 straight and takes the focus.
Grievous does a 2-bank and takes a focus. He goes left. He's trying to line up a shot on the Wolf. And Dis does a 2 straight because I was like, I just need to not bump. And I go for the evade barrel roll to the left to basically line up either the outmaneuver shots on Jag, or if Oddball is available, I'll try and take the shot into Oddball. Yes, I'm going into the Ion turret, but with rerolls, obstructed, and an evade, I'm like, I'll take 1 damage. I feel like I should be able to stop it. Chertek does a 1 high to the left and takes a focus. Unfortunately, it does trigger the Wounded Pilot.
And Oddball just does too hard and takes a focus. And then Oddball shoots range 2 into Grievous. I get 2 hits.
I get 2 evades.
So you take a strain.
Yes.
Wolf has a range 3 shot into Dis. I roll crit hits focus, so I spend his focus for 3.
I roll evade 3 blanks. I re-roll the 3 blanks into 2 focuses and a blank. Spend the evade for a second evade and take a weapons fail. No, I take a structural damage.
Structural damage.
And 3 strains.
Matchstick fires the ion cannon into Grievous. And I end up with 3 hits.
I get 1 evade.
Oh, maybe it wasn't Grievous. No, it was...
No.
Oh, it was Dis because you were obstructed, but structural damage and strain.
Yeah.
So
I roll a single evade.
So plink another one there.
Yeah.
And then
I am ionized.
And this is Grievous.
Grievous range 1 into Wolf. I've got you out of arc. Rerolls and a focus gets me 4 hits.
I roll a blank, so I die.
And okay, so I'm gonna excuse myself that I'm not really. In my head, Dis is already dead. Like, I'm no way does Broadside not kill Dis. So I'm like, screw it. Range 1 into Jag outmaneuver. I just need to punch damage. Because I do have the range 3 outmaneuver shot into Oddball, but I think it was obstructed.
Yeah, it was obstructed. I
still should have taken it.
I don't.
I think I still should have taken it. I'm not sure.
I don't. That would be 3 on 3. No, hang on. Yeah, you're not depleted, are you? That would be
not depleted.
That'd be 3 on 3. 3 on 2, sorry, because that maneuver. But I've got a focus, whereas you've got 4 on 0.
Yeah, I mean, I end up with the full shebang, 3 hits and a crit.
I just think you need to make sure you can follow up on it.
Yeah, and that's the problem, is I don't actually have follow up onto the 2 people I've got damage on after this shot.
But obviously I have no greens on that, so it all goes through. Jag's down to 4 with a fuel leak.
Kotek has no shot.
So we go to my 3s. I have a choice of obstructed into Dis, so I take the unobstructed. I roll hit and 2 blanks, but Broadside's ability and a focus makes that 2.
I roll an evade, and Dis is dead.
And then I think I have a range 2 out the back from Jag into Grievous. I roll hit focus spend for 2.
And I roll 2 evades, I believe that is.
And then I score 2 and you score 1 for 19-14.
And so the rest of this game is functionally elementary. I needed literal magic to happen to catch up to this game, and I don't get it. It's as simple as that.
Like, I offered to call it here because I literally.
I wanted to. I knew there was a shot. I just needed you to. I needed you to dial in the exact maneuvers that would get me the shots, and I needed then the shots to go through. They don't happen. I needed functionally, both arcs to die, which is not really possible. But I was like, let's see where they go and whether I got the shots.
Yeah.
Because it is not impossible for Chertek to kill Jag. And if I had been thinking slightly clearly, Grievous could have potentially tried something with Oddball, but I wasn't, and I just didn't expect what Oddball would be doing.
Yeah. Yeah, that is. Hang on, let me math this out.
So if we just see where they go, because I died in a 1 hard to the left with Grievous, chasing the Y-wings for whatever reason, and I try to bank in Chertek so I can line up a shot on against Jag, assuming you've either gone straight or turned into where Chertek is.
Yeah.
Also, had you done like a 3 straight with Jag, this game is over beyond the shadow of
Yeah. In hindsight, it's what I should have done. Just jetted off towards the board edge and take a focus. But I don't do that. I 2 hard in because I love shooting things. And Broadside does a 1 bank and takes a focus.
So Grievous does a 1 hard and focus boosts, and this was stupid because all I was going to be able to get was shots into Y-wings, which I cannot kill. Chertek does a 2 bank to the left.
Because even if you killed both Y-wings...
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
If you kill both Y-wings, we draw.
Tie.
Yeah.
but I can't. I literally can't kill the Y-wings. Chertek hilariously tractored, moved my turret to get a shot into Jag, and then I barreled to the left because I was like, I'm pretty sure Matchstick is going over this rock to try and claim that last objective. And this was the other thing that I needed to happen. I needed this 2-1 to still be 2-1, and then I needed to kill both arcs. Anyone who's watching this video knows that that's literally no longer possible because I only have one shot into an arc currently. But I do bump Matchstick onto the rock for farming.
Because I did too hard over to try and claim.
Most importantly, Chertek is only getting shot by Jag because I've dodged Broadside's arc.
Yes. And I take a second damage. And we were just having a sneaky peek to see if it would have fit. I launched Oddball over the rock as well, because why not? He takes 2 damage. But I thought... So
this is where I'm like, Grievous shouldn't have one-hearted. Grievous should have slooped.
Yeah, interestingly, I thought you'd send Grievous off over the Y-wings, hence the after.
It was really dumb. I don't know. I think I just locked onto the first thing in my head because I was like, well, there's no way. In my head, there's also no way Oddball comes in, right? Like just like the way like I said, the way I needed Oddball to come in, I needed Jag to come in. That I needed for Chertek to line up a shot onto Jag that would kill him, and then Grievous to get a shot onto Oddball that would kill him. Both of your ships, well, Oddball had 6 at the time, so I literally needed you to fly over a rock for this to work, which you did.
Well, interestingly, I thought you might try and one-hard the other way and boost rounds and just try and be in front of Oddball there, so... and I consider the focus for a second, but I actually decided to barrel roll to the left, because I'm hoping that gets me a shot onto Chertek, and I'm range 2 of Jag's side arc so that he can pick up a lock.
Yeah. Also, I did gain a stress from that wounded pilot on Chertek after taking the tractor action, so no focus.
And then you pass over to Broadside.
And then I passed the tractor over to Broadside, and I just leave you there.
I thought you might have been happy. I thought you might have been considerate and moved me, but no.
Nah, that would get you a shot, mate.
Yeah, I know, exactly. So Oddball has the range 3 shot into Chertek. I roll hit crit.
I roll triple evade.
So you gain a strain. Thanks, Cody. And I'm just out of range 2 for Jag's ability.
So Grievous just has shots into Y-wings. I can't remember who I pick. It doesn't actually matter.
You
I get
go into Matchstick, because although he has 1 more green, he has no mods.
Yeah.
And you plink 3 through.
And then with Chertek, I just shoot at Oddball because I've got the bullseye. Like I already know it's over. I even put like a crit in because, like I said, my win condition was Chertek kills Jag and Grievous kills Oddball, and then I just didn't do that.
Yeah. And then Jag shoots into Chertek and puts 3 damage through.
Yeah, you roll 3 hits out of hand, and I roll 3 blanks, and Gravitic nets me another blank.
And yeah, there she is.
And that's it. So yeah, like realistically, it was over from the moment Dis died. Like, but it's one of the things where like I didn't think I could just sit in front of the arc though. Like, yes, I was giving the ion, but the ion is capped at 1 damage, and at that point, if Dis is alive, that I'll have to take it.
Yeah.
It was just unfortunate that the first crit from Oddball's bum was structural.
Was a structural, yeah, completely.
But it is what it is. Like, the amount of times I've had Dis T81 take absolutely no damage for no apparent reason is insane. So when Dis takes damage, two red dice versus 4 greens, you just got to accept it.
Yeah, that's fair. And hey, on my side, I think custom Oddball works. All right, not quite as efficient. Cody triggered, 3 times? At least twice. I think 3 times. But, yeah. It is good.
And from my side, I think it is quite an interesting tell that I have done enough damage to both of your arcs to kill a different arc.
Yeah.
And if there was 1 less arc on the board, this might have been a closer game.
Yeah, definitely. Well, on that note, we will wrap it up for this week. We'll be back next week to let you know how Hemel went.
Yes.
and then preparing for probably looking at Sith Takers in
STO, yeah.
February. So lots of time to practice lots of different things.
That is the case.
And on that note, I'll just say see you guys next week.
Yeah, ta-ta. Time to paint some Shatterpoint stuff.